All right. Oh my God. What's up? We are back. This is 2023. What?
Nice.
This is the first year. And so we didn't have an episode last year. So now this is 101. This is episode 101. So we'll always know how many episodes we've done in 2023 without the confusing math of subtracting one.
I'm confused already.
Episode 101. So 101.
Yeah.
Right. And then next week will be 102. So the last number is how many episodes we've done this year. So for example, today, 1.
Should have reviewed 101 Dalmatians today.
That's why he gets to host the shows.
He gets to host the show, and this is why I didn't take any math classes in college.
I'm not good at math either. That's why I've made it simple for everyone. All right, let's do the things. Marci, you just have to do the first part.
Okay, I went back and watched, and I understand. I can't hear sometimes. I didn't hear you say that.
Okay. You're on.
I'm singing?
Yeah, you got to start.
You can just read it if you want to.
Here's the story of some lonely fellas who spend way too much time watching the TV. All of them have jobs and friends. Well, not really, just between you and me.
Damn.
They made a live show out of their hobby. Every TV watching dream. Jeff and Ron and Sal and Bob, and then there's Howard. They call it Crossing Streams.
All right, Ron.
And then one day they went live on all the platforms. You could hear the people laugh and shout and scream. Still can't find another word that rhymes with platform, but man, we crossed those streams. Here we go.
Oh, we crossed the
streams.
We crossed
the streams.
That's the way.
That's the way we do it. Here we cross the streams.
Oh, let's see what Jerry.
Solid finish.
Solid finish.
What's up, Jerry?
We always lose it right at the end. Hey, Jerry, what's up, man? But that's cool. That's cool. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year,
guys.
Oh man.
Are you guys like when you say the word 2023? Is it like strange to you? I mean, it's like shouldn't it still be like 2012 or something or 2008 or something?
Man.
I haven't had to do anything where I actually have had to write it yet, and that's where the problem's going to come in. Saying it isn't a big deal. It's when I have to write it.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't actually like write checks or something, do you?
I still write.
No,
I write checks.
I write a check here and there.
Yeah,
no, I have a plastic thing.
What? Some taxes you have to.
So, I don't need a check.
Taxes?
I haven't written a check in like 3 years.
How do you pay your taxes? You just don't pay your taxes?
You pay it electronically like a normal person.
Oh, I like to keep it as long as possible. So I know when I write the check, I've got like days where it's just going to sit. With me.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like that immediate. Here's the whatever amount I'm paying in taxes.
See, I don't like that stuff hanging out there. I want the money done, gone, out of my account. I know what I have.
Welcome to Money Talk. Welcome to Crossing the Streams. If you're just tuning in, this is where we answer the universal question: what should I be binge watching next? I just finished watching something. Now I got to watch something else. Well, we got your back. You've come to the right place. Over 100 hours of TV binge watching suggestions on our YouTube channel. Can't believe it. That is quite a reservoir of that's a lot. There's a lot. There's at least 4 or 5 in each one. The repository, right? There's at least 4. Least 4 in each one. At least 4. Some have more. So it's over 400 different suggestions because I don't think we've repeated more than 2, maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
400.
So that's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. We have a fun show today. Marci's back. Welcome back, Marci.
Thank you for having me.
Marci's in full comedian mode. She had a big show last night.
So fun.
Cool. Where was it at?
It was the 51st Jokes in Ann Arbor.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I did that about 3 years ago. It's great.
So fun. Saw a lot of great comedians. What?
That was the last time Sal wrote a joke.
But I'm bummed.
So yeah, any show where they're like, just bring one joke. I'm like, okay, that sounds up my alley.
It's supposed to be a new joke, though, isn't it?
It was new. I wrote it yesterday morning. It was great. great.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's
Good
awesome.
So
for you.
inappropriate and
It's a
awesome.
fun night. It's a fun
It was
event.
so fun.
And Tim from a friend of the show, Funny Science Fiction Popcast.
Hello.
Copyright
Yeah,
Jeff Dawson.
nice job, Tim.
What's up, Tim?
Howdy. How you guys doing? Thanks
Good.
for having
How
me, by
are
the way.
you?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting there.
You good there? Tim is recovering from the vid, so he's
Oh man.
all back now. Oh, you got
It's
quite
okay.
you got
I
quite
have
a
hot tea.
quite a pop thing collection going on there.
Oh, those are all my Funkos.
Funkos.
Well, it's not all of them, but there's more that you can't see up on the shelf somewhere over there, and a bunch more at home. And my wife's just glad the majority are here. So
I have 2 collector Geico Funkos of the gecko.
oh, okay.
Geico.
I won them. So what do we got? From 3 Geeks. I think it's I think 3 Geeks. I haven't been invited on their
Yes.
podcast in a while. The Jerry's excited for your rom-coms, Sal, as are we.
Yeah.
We don't want to rob.
I got a good one today.
We don't want to rob the people. Last year we did our a year ago we did our 100th episode. It was jam-packed. We had lots of guests. We did Violent Night. Sal graced us with I Believe in Santa.
Jesus.
We talked about action,
Oh, that was a good
Avatar 2, Way of the Water, Fire of Love, and Harry and Meghan. That was quite a show. Quite a show. I recommend episode 100 to anybody. And then today we're talking Where the Crawdads Sing, The Rookie, Glass Onion, Love Guaranteed, and The Old Man. It's quite a lot.
It's interesting. It's an eclectic show today.
It's a very eclectic show today. So, but that's good. It's good. New year. And yeah. I can't think if what we got. Violet Night was such a blast. I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list.
Yeah,
I did see the Fablemans. It was enjoyable.
Did you actually go to the theater or did you rent it at home?
Sure, I rented it at home. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a nice movie. It was nice. That's
Nice.
right. Not a it's so what else we got? All right, should we just jump in? Should we jump in?
Well, I was gonna comment
we got
that during the holidays. Did anyone notice or read about this crazy Ohio crash in the snow and fog like around
I heard
Christmas
about
time?
it. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I heard
So
about
are you guys seeing these videos now that are coming out this past week?
Oh,
about
no.
it? No.
I mean,
No.
I mean, if you're like me and you just cannot turn away from seeing just random violence, I don't think a lot of people died. I think a few people did, but
A couple people, yeah.
But these crashes are just unbelievable because nobody's hitting their brakes. No one's
That's scary, man.
people just car after car, truck after truck,
So like
just all banging into each other,
Yeah, like
just flying down the road, plowing into each other.
flying
yeah,
down the
because
road.
you're in a fog. You can't see.
Well,
that
you
they
can't drive
stop.
like that when you're in a fog.
Right.
No.
Hey, did
Well,
anyone
you're in
drive
Ohio,
last night?
They don't really care.
Was there anyone on the road last night? Sal, did you have a show last night? Or
Last night was bad,
it
wasn't it?
was
Yeah, I
horrible.
wasn't
I
out.
drove
I
home
wasn't
from Ann
out.
Arbor. I was in the show in Ann
Oh,
Arbor.
wow. Okay, good. I wasn't out
was-
last night, which is
my-
rare.
My husband drove. I was like, oh shit, like the whole ride.
I hate
I was
that.
freaking out.
Yeah.
Scary.
Well, I feel like today was just as bad. Like driving by, and if you're driving by any of the inland lakes that are warming up,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get these crazy fogs. Like I couldn't see 10 feet in front of my car window today. It was crazy.
I'd like to review the Weather Channel tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So it's
man.
foggy in
Let's
the
talk
west,
and
and
let's
it's
talk about our barometric pressures.
All right, I'm done. Thanks a lot, guys. All right, good night.
It'll be rising from the east side, coming over to the west.
Right.
Oh man.
No,
Okay,
it is scary, dude. It is scary.
It is. It's horrible. Everyone be safe out there.
Okay.
If you're watching this while you're driving in a fog, not a good idea.
Not
if you're
good.
watching
Not
this
good.
while you're
Marci's
driving.
got good background game. Last time you had the Christmas tree.
Thank you for
Now-
noticing.
What is that?
And
a
that-
penguin?
Is that a chicken?
This is his last night. He goes into a box until next year.
All
That's
right.
my gnome.
I like it.
Thank you.
Oh, now I see it. Yeah, I
You
thought it
see
was a
him?
penguin.
Oh
too.
yeah, I
I
thought it was a
glittery
penguin.
I thought it was
Oh.
a chicken facing the other way.
Now it
then
looks like now it definitely
As soon
looks
as you
like
said
a
gnome, and then I saw the nose.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was when it was turned, the painting kind of
Oh.
filled in with the head, and I thought it was a penguin. Watch the replay; you'll see what I'm talking.
There's actually a little bow on this painting. It was my Christmas Hanukkah present.
Got it. Well, it's a nice painting.
Thank you. Thank you.
So very cool. So let's kick things off with Where the Crawdads Sing. I saw the last 5 minutes of this.
You saw the last 5 minutes of it.
Ron Libet. Yes, because my wife was watching it and I watched the end.
Interesting. Now, am I the only one of the group that actually read the book To Where the Crawdads Sing?
I literally started it, and I'm ADHD. I couldn't continue.
There's a book.
Oh my gosh, the book is fantastic. Come on, dude. Come on. Don't do that. I enjoyed the book thoroughly. I actually read the book almost entirely in one sitting. That's how much I enjoyed the book. And so, like any movie adaptation of an amazing book story, you can only expect the worst to come out of it. Like it can't get better than these amazing stories that are written, right? So I don't know why I put myself through that. Why am I going to watch a movie when it'll never live up to the expectations of the book? And I'm just going to say there are only a handful of examples that we probably could chat about in this in Crossing the Streams about versions of movies that equaled the content of the book. I'll put The Shawshank Redemption right up there at the very top before any of you say it. But I am here to tell you that Where the Crawdads Sing was a fantastic film. Fantastic film. They had to take some liberties. They had to make some changes to the extent of the story, and I think they did a great job with editing. But this is still a beautiful story, and it's a beautifully shot film. What's particularly interesting about Where the Crawdads Sing, and by the way, before I get into the describing the film, I actually watched it on a Delta Airlines flight, which made it even harder. I watched on the little screen on the back of the seat in front of me, so I didn't really get the full cinematic view of it, or the audio that now in my second viewing of it that you really get. Some of the custom songs that were actually written for the movie adaptation include Taylor Swift and a few other. Michael Dana composed the whole soundtrack, and it's a very well conceived production of this film, which makes it even more interesting that there are no stars in this film. Nobody. If you go through the cast, the only person who you will recognize is David Strathairn. Is that how you pronounce his name? David Strathairn? Sure. So anyway, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. So he was a late acceptance into the movie. So this was literally a no-star film that I think they just put a lot of faith into the writing and a lot of faith into the production that it would sell. And sure enough, a $7 million movie production did more than 150 million in global billing. So good on CBS and the folks that actually produced this film. So not CBS, excuse me, Sony Pictures, excuse me. So if you guys don't know the story, it's a pretty dark story of a woman who grows up essentially in a extremely rural part of the country outside New Orleans, basically in the swamps of Louisiana. In fact, they even call her the Swamp Girl, and it's about her very difficult life with her parents and very difficult life with her brothers and sisters, who one by one all leave because it's such a dysfunctional situation, and she's essentially left alone to figure out her life as a child. And survives, and it's the story of her surviving and growing and evolving and loving and finally making it to adulthood, all within the context of a murder that happens that she ends up being blamed for. So that's the lens of the entire story. It's a fascinating story, and I think the research of the time and the life inside rural Louisiana, I think makes this a particularly interesting story. I think that the concept of the title, Where the Crawdads Sing, does anybody know what that means? Where the Crawdads Sing?
got to be a New Orleans thing or something.
I think it is a New Orleans or a Louisiana thing, but her and her brother in the story go to hide from their abusive parents by taking the boat so far out into the swamps that you had to take it to where the Crawdads actually sing. And that's where the story comes from. So listen, it's a dark story. I'm not going to lie. It's a dark story, but it does have a very redeeming arc to it. The acting is fantastic, despite the fact that I don't recognize a single person. The only thing that I will just tell you is that, and this makes total sense to me, is guess who produced this film on behalf of Sony? Anybody know?
No.
Reese Witherspoon. So
Wow.
once again, you get these A-list actors that and Jeff, we talked about this, I think, in the last episode,
Right.
that you get these amazing A-list actors that are now heavily involved in production and funding of these well-designed scripts and well-designed movies. So it's listen, this storyline and the movie and the production, it's all beautifully done. It's now streaming on Amazon. It's an hour and a half, so it's not a particularly long jaunt. It is dark, so if you're looking for something upbeat and comical, this is not your movie. But if you're looking on being taken on a story and having some redeeming value at the end, and there is a twist, which is, I think, I don't want to tell you any more than that, but there is a big twist, which is, I have to laugh, Jeff, when you say you watch the last few minutes of the movie. That's where I would recommend you don't, if you're going to step into this movie, don't watch the last part of the movie, because that's when you get the twist. So check it out. I'm a big fan of these types of movies, independent movies that get picked up by big organizations and build into beautiful films like this. I am interested, though, back to the original point. When's the last time you saw a movie adaptation of an amazing book that worked? Because other than Shawshank, I can't really think of one right off the bat.
Yeah.
Prince of
Usually there's
Tides.
Prince of Tides, interesting, really.
Prince of Tides was a good book. I read that book and then saw
That's
the movie.
also similarly dark. So that's that was with Nick Nolte, I believe.
Yeah.
Prince of Tides, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexiest Man Alive back then.
Sexiest
There
Man
you go.
alive.
Yeah.
So-
Usually there's such big twists between the book and the movie that it's hard to correlate the two.
Yeah, well, so if the thing about Shawshank is that was a short story, so it was an easier adaptation because they could actually take you through the entire story in the movie production.
Yeah.
This, if you've read the book to Where the Crawdads Sing, you'll notice they cut out a couple of major parts of the book. In fact, they left out one of the major characters just because I think it was going to be too long. So, and I respect that. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to make some editorial. Blade Runner was a book. Was Blade Runner a book? I guess it was.
Lawnmower
I have no
Man
idea.
was out there.
Shut up, Jerry.
Lawnmower Man was another, I think. But
if you're
Jerry
serious
figured
about
out the twist. Jerry figured out the
Legally
twist.
Blonde, I think. Was the movie.
Dana,
if
Jaffe
you're
apparently
serious
doesn't
about
see
Blade
me.
Runner, I love
So-
Blade Runner. So I didn't know that was a book though. So
highly,
yes, it's
highly.
better
I
than
will
Real
say,
Housewives.
I will say, Ron, Rotten Tomatoes, the critics hated this movie.
Wow.
34%, but the audience score of over 5,000 audience score, 96%.
Yeah,
Which-
I don't know what the critics, if that's what the critic score is. I didn't even look it up for this. I should have. If that's the critic score, they're full of it, because this is excellent. It's an it's if you haven't read the book, it is an excellent story. So I'm surprised at that 30. What'd you say, 38? That's ridiculous.
34. 38 would
yeah,
have been great.
That's ridiculous. So check it out, guys. Amazon, it's streaming now, and I think you'll enjoy it.
And from what I saw of it, I agree with Ron.
And I read a lot of it, and now I don't need to read the rest. I'm just joking, except for that twist.
Right? Jerry figured out the twist. It's not the Crawdads stream.
It's not the
singing.
Crawdads who are
It's the
singing.
trout, and they can throw their voice.
I don't even know what a crawdad is. Is it just like a crayfish? Is that
It's a
the same thing?
crayfish. It's a crayfish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't talk about that in the book.
I
So
think that's why. I
yeah.
put the book
It's a
down.
crawfish,
Yeah.
which is like a little baby lobster.
I think it is, right? It's
I
like
think
it's
close.
a small
It
lobster.
looks like a little lobster.
That's
Yeah.
actually
All right. Well, that was fantabulous.
Good
Thank
job,
you so
Ronnie. Good
much
job,
for
man.
that.
I'm gonna watch
Let's go with the old man. Let's talk about the old man.
Interesting.
Dana
That's my
Jeffrey's got-
turn.
She's got to get to
Woo.
sleep, so we'll
That's my
get Marcy
show.
in.
Okay, so first I read the book, The Old Man. No, I'm just joking. Okay.
I like your start.
Okay, thank you. Oh gosh, what a great show. I'm so glad we finally watched it. We were told by a friend to watch it a long time ago. But Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow are such great actors, and they do really, really good work in this. I loved it. My husband and I loved it, and we binged it. We watched it in a few days, and there's a season 2. They just announced that everyone loved it. And did you know that there's going to be a season 2? Have you guys seen it?
Now, what's it on?
It's FX. Is that what it was?
I think it's on. I watched it on Hulu.
On Hulu.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So
sure.
what's it about? What's it about? Take us through it.
Okay, so it is about Jeff Bridges. He stars in it, and he's an elderly gentleman. He is so great in this part. So, I mean, I don't like to give too much away, but it's violent and
Nice.
it's kind of sometimes a little bit edge of your seat. It's a lot of guessing. I'm like, I know how it's gonna end, and just really good stuff. But I don't want to give away anything. You just got to go on these 2 actors that are amazing, and now they're giving us a television show. So you got to love John Lithgow. He was 30 feet from the sun or something. What was that show?
Third Rock from the Sun.
Thank you.
Rock from the Sun.
Also, season 4 of Dexter.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, which
did
is
not
the
see
best
that.
season. So, all right. So
okay.
this show, a retired CIA agent is hunted by both the agency he once worked for and his own nightmares when an unknown man suddenly visits him after 3 decades.
Yes. Joel Gray.
Interesting.
Joel Gray, who was that? Jennifer Gray's dad,
Yeah.
right?
Jennifer
So,
Grey.
I mean, he's a great actor. And then I just realized today that the daughter, Jeff, the girl who played, whoops, see, already ruining shit. But there is a young woman in the show that she was maybe on Arrested Development. I don't know how to say her name. It's
Alia Shawkat.
Alia Shawkat. Yeah, and I'm like, that's who she was. She was maybe on Arrested Development. So I highly recommend that one. Great show.
So are these half-hour shows, hour shows?
No, it's
or
about an hour.
an hour.
Yeah.
And how many?
Really
episodes
good
are there?
drama.
Okay.
And it's on
See,
Hulu.
I should bring all this. It's on Hulu. I
Hulu?
would say maybe 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's a great ending, and I'm all about having one good season. And I'm like, I hope they're done because.
Okay. Do
they
you know
just
the
hit a
names of
good-
any of the characters?
Nope.
Okay. No, you don't. No, but that's my point. Is do you notice that? My wife and I, we were just talking about this. Yellowstone is the only show of recent that I know I could list off the name of every character on the show. There was a joke about this with White Lotus where they'd go you mean Jennifer's assistant?
Right.
They refer to him by the, but you never remember. Yellowstone, I can name them all, and I realize it's because they say the character's name so many times.
Okay.
I don't think I could name. I love Yellowstone. I can't name everyone.
Well, I'm 6 episodes behind on Yellowstone, so we'll do a Yellowstone thing
I
soon.
gotta start watching that.
But
I will
all
just say John Lithgow
He's the best,
he is the best, and he can carry a show. I think I was the one that did the review for The Crown a while back, and he's so good. He's just so talented.
Yeah.
He
And
is.
to your point, Jeff, season 4 of Dexter, is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with you. That is by far the best season
Mhm.
of Dexter. So
Oh, hey, Dana
Lithgow's
Jaffe
amazing.
loves the platform.
the pla-
Gotta
You
tell
guys
Bob.
mentioned that the last show. I think
yes,
I
we
didn't.
Yeah.
did.
She made me see that.
It's
show.
Bob.
I watched
Bob
with my
put it
son.
up there. It's the worst. It's
I'm sorry, honey. I did not like that movie, Dana. Either did my kid.
But Lithgow is amazing because he can go from a comedy
Yeah,
to
man.
be playing somebody who's absolutely outside their brain, maniacal, and be 100% believable in both. So
Mhm.
Yes.
what is he in this one?
Who? John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Does he
totally
play a good guy,
believable.
bad guy?
No,
No, is he
I don't-
maniacal or is he
it's
like?
things change, so it's like I don't want to talk about it. But he's
Okay.
amazing in it. He
Okay.
really is, and they are both believable. And I did say that during one episode. I'm like, man, Jeff Bridges is so believable in this character. I was so into it. I couldn't believe I was watching a television show. Like that's the
Wow.
thing. It's just really
Okay.
entertaining.
So
and
this is
fun.
a highly recommend.
For a
This
television.
is a no-
we just thought it was a lot of fun, and it was great acting. And I just loved the story. So,
Mhm. It's a lot of tomato
but it's
sauce, guys.
violent, So if you don't like to see men kicking the shit out of each other,
I
don't
like
watch
to
it.
see.
Yeah, we don't like that. We
Old
like,
men.
we like soft, dainty things on the show.
Right.
A good
No,
punch.
it's a lot of
Nothing-
fun.
Nothing better than a good punch.
I enjoyed it very much.
That's good.
All right, the old man. All right, we're gonna get
The old
into it,
man.
Marcy. The old
The
man.
The old
Old
man.
man.
All right,
Older.
keeping in the theme of older. Let's go with the rookie.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Damn.
rookie. So I wanted to watch the show because I'm a huge Nathan Fillion fan, and anything I've ever seen him in, he's always does something that's more slapstick and more, even Firefly. There's a lot of slapstick humor. He's got some serious stuff in there, but that's just who he is. He's a very humorous guy, and so I came right off of watching Castle into watching this, kind of getting caught up on all my Fillion stuff. And so the premise of the show is that Nathan Fillion's character is named John Nolan, and he's entering his 40s. He's going through a rough divorce. He's been a contractor for all these years in whatever Townville in Pennsylvania where he's from. There's like 3 people in a horse trough, in the town, but he's at the bank and it gets stuck up, and while he's at the bank, it's then and there he decides he needs to do something better with his life. And so he packs up everything, moves to LA to become a police officer. And the whole premise of the show is him being a midlife rookie, and everybody thinks he's just doing this because it's a midlife crisis, and not that he's actually wanting to do something better with himself, with his life, and everything else. So each episode is about an hour long. It's on ABC every week. You can watch the first 4, actually all 4.5, because there's we're in the 5th season right now, but everything is on Hulu, so you can all stream it there and get caught up on it. But the great thing about it is it's what I would call, it's like a dramedy. It's definitely a crime drama, but it's got typical Nathan Fillion humor in it, in places where you wouldn't think that humor should be injected typically in some spots, and is just some irreverent humor here and there, which I appreciate. But one of the things I really do like about it is, so there's your normal, it's like a normal cop show. A little bit, Jerry. Yeah. So a little bit, it watches from the standard cop procedure, going through, showing all the characters, all these different things. And it goes from that. And then the other thing is that they have the cop's chest cam. And so each of the actors actually has a cam on their chest, and they're running around. And as they're doing this, and half the scenes of the show are from the police cam, the body cam. And so it's really kind of cool. Adds the different perspective of like when they're chasing, the perp or, whatever. And I use words like perp because I watch cop shows now. And but it's really very cool. How they go about it, because half the show is talking about how, showing John Nolan and what he's going through, and the other half is they're actually trying to solve a crime. And so, and then, usually at the end, both things kind of meet up, and, it's one of those shows where everything's kind of happy-go-lucky, and, by golly, by gosh, he's finding his way. But it's a cool show along, as it goes. For the most part, the only real recognizable name is Nathan Fillion. There's a handful of other people who have been in the show. One of my favorite people in the show, he plays a bad guy, and I never thought that he could do it, because the only other thing I had ever seen him in was The Wedding Singer, the guy named Matthew Glave, and he played Gulia. So anyway,
Julia Gulia.
Yeah,
Julia Gulia's boyfriend. Yeah. And
Speaking of
that's
the
the only-
wedding singer, I just had Mark Linnell on my podcast. He played the father that punches him. You're the
Oh, yeah.
worst wedding singer ever.
Exactly. Yeah. But Matthew Glave plays a fantastic bad guy in this show, who's a little bit crazy, and he kind of weaves in and out of episodes here and there. But past that, there's not a whole lot of people in here that you would recognize. Although, if you're paying attention throughout the episodes, you'll see people from Firefly come in. You'll see people from Castle come in. All of his previous shows, he has guest spots from all of his friends kind of drop in and say hi and all that kind of stuff. So
That's awesome. I love Nathan Fillion. He was great in Santa Clarita Diet as well.
mm-hmm.
One of my personal favorites.
Dr. Horrible sing-along vlog. 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
Yes. Sean Ashmore's in this. Wasn't he in? He's in X-Men. He was in X-Men.
Yeah. He was Iceman.
Iceman. What are you laughing at, Ron?
Jerry's killing me.
Somebody. Sal, are you in a hotel room?
Sal, you're in a hotel room, right? You're on mute, I think. Are you muted?
Yeah, I'm on the road.
And are people coming and going? You got things going on behind you?
No, he was on mute, so it wouldn't have been him.
No,
I think
it
it's
wasn't me,
Marci.
no.
Oh, why? What's going on? Can you hear my dog?
No, we're hearing doors opening and closing. And
Oh,
was that you?
That's people in my house. I don't have an office.
Sal,
I'm in the dining.
I
I'm in the dining
apologize.
room.
Oh, that's okay.
I assigned it to you, and I assumed your room service had arrived.
No.
All right.
That's funny though.
Now
All right. Well,
what's going on,
let's hang on. Let me do this. Let me do that. Okay. Let's get to the love portion of the show, and let's do love guarantee.
Love is in
with
the
Sal.
air. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
I like that. I like the lead-in.
Come along
So
and
yeah, this is
see.
a continuation. For those of you who have not been watching, I do a rom-com every week throughout the holidays, but I missed a couple of weeks. So these are just, my fans were like, "What's next, Sal? What's rom-com are we watching?" So I had to do one. So I did Love Guaranteed. It stars, the big star in it is Damon Wayans and Susan Lee Cook, or Rachel Lee Cook, who plays Susan. And of course, how I like to review these is I don't want to ruin the plot like Ron didn't want to ruin the plot of his great movie. I don't want to give away the plot one or just every little secret, but basically the gist of the movie is Damon Wayans is a single guy. He works as a physical therapist, and Susan, played by Rachel, is a lawyer. And Damon Wayans' character is on a dating site called Love Guaranteed. And I don't know if it was written in the contract or something. They never really kind of say why 1,000 dates was it. But if you go it was kind of written in the contract. If you went on 1,000 dates with this company, they would pay your money back or something like that. So Damon Wayans is like at 986 dates and he hasn't found true love. So he finds a lawyer because he wants to sue Love Guaranteed. And obviously his lawyer is this Rachel Lee Cook, who is also single. And that's the premise of the movie. And she goes on dates obviously she's trying to see what her client's going through. So she goes on dates. It's a good movie for the family. I mean, it's not like one of those rom-coms like I talked about before. You can watch it with the whole family. It's not dirty, no sexual innuendos, no nothing really. It's kind of family friendly, and it's kind of weird. Like, they're going to get to, obviously, you think that Damon Wayans and Susan, Nick is his character's name, and Susan are going to get together at the end. And they do. And I'm not going to tell you what happens to them, but it's so late in the movie that you never see them kind of romantically involved, so to speak. They're kind of just flirting throughout the whole movie, so to speak. And it's got cool scenery. The cinematography and all that around Seattle is gorgeous. Obviously, a lot of coffee house scenes because it's Seattle. The decor in the movie is very good. Some good acting. Heather Graham's in it, so she's got a little bit part. Their chemistry, and rom-coms is all about the chemistry of the two actors. And I forgot what movie I did a couple times ago, Jeff, but the chemistry in that one was horrible. And these two, Damon Wayans and Rachel Lee Cook, have really good chemistry. They really enjoyed working together. You can tell. And it's just a cute little movie, man. It's 90 minutes long. And like I said, if you're looking for something clean and yet rom-com-ish with a little bit of comedy, this is your movie. 3 tomatoes.
Real quick clarification. It's Damon Wayans Jr.
Damon
stars
Wayans Jr.
in this movie.
Correct.
It was a completely different person.
You're right.
Than Damon Wayans.
That's true.
Well, now I'm disappointed because I wanted to see him smack her just once and yell, "Homie, don't play that."
I believe Damon Wayans Jr. is his son, maybe, right? So,
it is.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He's about probably 30, 35 in this.
Yeah. He was in. He's been in a lot of things. Damon Wayans.
He's
Jr.
actually good. He's very.
The Wayans
nice
family is a juggernaut of entertainers, and so yeah, he was in Happy Endings, which was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch that Happy Endings?
I
He was also a New Girl, I believe.
Yes, he was originally in New Girl, then he left to do Happy Endings,
and then he came back.
They brought in the other guy, and then they brought him back much later. Yeah.
I think they might do a second movie. I'm going to say their chemistry was that good that they may do something else together.
Well, what happened that they would be able to do a sequel when the love was guaranteed in this one?
Yeah, well, you'd have to continue what happens to them.
Did you say this was an hour and 90 minutes?
No, it's 90 minutes. I almost said an hour. It's 90 minutes. I wouldn't have watched it if it was.
And this was, and you give it 3 sauce jars?
I gave it 3 tomato sauce jars just because. I'll take that back. I'll give it 4. Because I'm not going to give it a 5 because it wasn't top notch rom com movies.
She was in She's All That.
Yeah,
Rachel Lee Cook. Yeah, she's been a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, see, that's probably in my top 5 for rom coms.
Interesting.
And how's Heather
the
Graham
scale?
in
Is
this?
this?
Oh, he's not that into you. That's in my top 5. He's just.
How's Heather Graham in this? Heather Graham is someone I really like, but never really.
Rom-coms. I like rom-coms. I liked The Deer Hunter.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Where the Crawdads sing.
Where the Crawdads. Yeah. Interesting.
All right.
There it is.
Well done.
Rent it.
Well done, Sally.
Or see it on
Is
Amazon.
the sauce jars? Is this on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to
5?
1 to 5.
5.
Nice.
David,
4 is high praise.
We save the 5 pretty much. Sally saves them for Christmas movies, but 4 is pretty good.
I said 4 is high praise then. Okay.
I liked it.
All right. Let's talk about Glass Onion. What? Have you guys seen this? Who's seen it?
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yay. Okay, so you can chime in with me. So Glass Onion, I'm surprised that only Marci has seen it, given that this is the 3rd most watched film ever.
Right.
Wow.
What?
It notches up. It had 82.1 million hours viewed during its Christmas debut. I was probably the 0.1. I was there. And then the film is now notched up to 209 million hours of view time. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Wow.
Right? So the 2 films that have beat it, anyone want to guess? One we talked about on this show. All right, well, it's Red Notice, which is the Gal Gadot.
The Irishman.
Nope, don't look up.
All right, don't look up.
Oh, don't look up, right.
And Red Notice, I think, was the Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. So this is a sequel to Knives Out. Knives Out is a tremendously good movie directed by Ryan Johnson, who did The Last Jedi fame, of which he got much attacked by the Star Wars fan base for actually making a good movie and not doing exactly what the Star Wars fan base wanted. Let the letters commence. He also directed Looper and 3 episodes of Breaking Bad, including the episode which I think is very memorable, The Fly.
Wow,
The
Where
worst
there's a-
episode in the entire 6-year series.
So that's Ryan Johnson. So this is this, unlike Crawdads, has a 93% critic and 93% audience score. It is one of these movies where I was public about this movie when it first came out, about how much I enjoyed it. But there are plenty of people that love to say how much they hated this movie. So this is the cilantro of movies.
Nice.
You either love it or hate it, and I think it's all based on chemical imbalances. So this is not a sequel to Knives Out.
Right.
It is a standalone movie, but it has the same character, Daniel Craig, the detective character, Vignon Blanc. Is that how you say it? Anyway, the southern detective from Knives Out, and then this is meant to be. I think they're already working on a 3rd movie. Where he's just the detective. That's the theme. That's the carryover. But the movies themselves have nothing to do with each other than the fact that it focuses on, like an Agatha Christie thing where it was the same detective, or a James Bond movie, for example, where anyway, doesn't matter. So like Knives Out, this kind of relies on the cast of characters in it. And so this one has Ed Norton, who plays a character called Miles Braun, who you may have read. It's got very close comparisons to Elon Musk. The funny thing about it is it looks like it was a very specific now Elon Musk parody. But when you think about the fact that this movie was probably shot well over a year or so ago, if not 2 years ago, to come out now and be a perfect parody of the craziness of Elon Musk at the moment, it's pretty impressive if you ask me. So, but I mean, I think it's really just kind of a crazy billionaire kind of guy. Elon Musk happens to be the current crazy billionaire guy, right? So I think it could have easily been compared to somebody else at a different time.
Sure.
Kate Hudson's in this, Dave Bautista, who I love, Catherine Hahn, who's amazing, Leslie Odom Jr. is great, Madeline Klein, and Janelle Monáe, who's incredible in this as well. So the idea of this is 5 longtime friends. They're invited to a Greek island, which is owned by billionaire Miles Braun, who's Ed Norton, who I think Ed Norton, frankly, I think he's the same character. I don't see a difference between any Ed Norton performance ever. I mean, when he did the one where he was the priest with Ben Stiller and the rabbi, I mean, it's basically the same character, except he has more money in this one. I just don't see any range with.
What was the movie he did with Richard Gere though, where he's
maybe anyone can do one, yeah. But I'm just saying, like Ed Norton never, you know.
That's
what I mean?
when we all fell in love with him.
Yeah, I know.
But
you know what I mean. I'm just saying. So anyway, all the friends come, and it's meant to be a weekend. These are lifelong friends. It's like a group that goes back years, and and there's supposed to be like this thing where Edward Norton's character is going to do a murder mystery, and he's going to be the one murdered, and the whole weekend is going to them figuring out who it was. So it's supposed to be real fun, but of course, twist, someone actually gets murdered, and then Daniel Craig happens to be there, the world's greatest detective, thankfully, and the whole thing plays out. It's a murder mystery, so obviously I don't want to get into the specifics of it because you should enjoy it. It's a long movie, though. I'll say that it's 2.5 hours. You gotta kind of bear with it before you really even understand what's going on. And then it takes on. I found it enjoyable. I liked the movie. I'm not gonna say you could probably pick it apart. The end is a little weird, but I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of those movies where I think it was just an enjoyable movie, a popcorn movie. If you just take it at that, This isn't like going to be one of these things where they look back and dissect this as the perfect murder mystery ever. But I think it's enjoyable. The characters are fun. It's an enjoyable 2.5 hour jaunt to the world of Hollywood, or whatever, So in that sense, I did like it. There's little kind of things you can Google. There's like little interesting Easter eggs. There's a dong, like there's a dong, and that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's been in every Ryan Johnson film in one way or another. So there's that. And the one theme that seems to be with the Knives Out movies, the first one, Knives Out, that is a Radiohead song. Glass Onion, obviously a Beatles song. So far, the theme is that the names of these movies are names of songs as well. But I mean, if you're going to compare it to the first one, I think the first one maybe is better. The characters are probably a little more solid, but this was fun. It was an enjoyable movie. What did you think, Marci?
You're right. It was enjoyable. And it was a good thing I was on my couch, because if I was in the theater, I think I would have been in trouble. It was a little long, and I loved it from the beginning. And then I was like, it started to lose me a little bit, but it is enjoyable in your family room with a pause button.
Like where you can pause and get some popcorn and go to the bathroom and
play a game on your phone for a little bit,
go back for a second, and that kind of thing.
But I had fun. I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. If you just take it as like,
you're right, fun.
This is a fun movie. This is just, it's like, it is what it is. I mean, they're talking about another movie where they might do a Muppet one. With it. That would be brilliant.
I'm pro Muppet for sure. That sounds awesome, actually.
She's Puppet.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's a fun, twisty thing, and I think Ryan Johnson did a good job. I mean, it's definitely interesting. It was definitely interesting. Hugh Grant has a cameo. Ethan Hawke has a cameo. I think this is Angela Lansbury as a cameo. I think it's her last thing she did. So there's little things like that. I think they just made a movie and had a really good time making this movie. And I think if you look at it that way, it's just, all right, we're just going to sit down and have fun for 2.5 hours. Boom. That's it. You're good. So
yeah, it was fun. I would definitely, I wouldn't tell someone to not see it.
Yeah. That's it. So we give it 15 tomato sauce jars.
Good job, Jeff.
Thank you. So what else? I think that's it. I'm a little behind on Yellowstone. I have 6 episodes and we catch up. It's when you binge watch something, like when I look at like The Rookie that we just talked about, right? It's 88 hours. It's 88 episodes, right? And so it's like, that seems like a long hill to climb, right? Even though I just banged through what I think 40 hours of Yellowstone.
Oh my gosh.
When you think about it, that's an entire week. I mean, you knock it off at an hour here, an hour there.
Yeah.
But wow, it's like, and with Yellowstone, now I got to watch that 18 whatever, and then 1923 is supposed to be amazing. It's like, there's so much with that. So much. All right. So watch Knives Out as well. And then watch Glass Onion. And then you guys go watch it as well. And then you might as well. Everyone else has. All right. So what else? Okay. That's it. I got nothing. We're done.
All right.
Sal's on the road. All right.
Sal, where are you? I know you're in a hotel room. Where did you say you were?
Well, I did a corporate gig down at Motor City, and they gave me a room. So
nice.
Yeah, and I just went. I just thought I was gonna tell Jeff I couldn't do it, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I get a room, my show will be over with. Go down and screw around for a little bit down in the casino.
Yeah, we just saved you money. How much money did we just save you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even going to stay down here. I'm just going to go, I'm going to go home in a little bit.
I did a show there, I think, many years ago, and I stayed there because they gave me the room. It was so loud all night.
Like you mean? Oh, you mean like what? Like the rooms next door and stuff like that?
The parking lot. It was just like,
Oh yeah.
'cause
Well,
those places, no one
it's
sleeps
a little
there.
quieter situation down
Yeah.
here tonight.
It was so loud. So, Tim, tell everyone where they can catch up with you and say goodnight.
Yeah, so the FSF Podcast, you can find us on all your favorite audio podcast providers. Of course, check out our YouTube channel, but please go to our website, www.fsfpopcast.com. And goodbye.
Marci, say goodnight. Tell us your joke.
You can find me in my dining room with my dog. Good night. Thanks for having me. I'm coming back, but I will be more prepared. I see what you guys are doing. I should be paying more attention to these shows I'm watching.
Hey, we have
job, Marci.
100 hours that you could watch and see how the. Yeah, Ron, say goodnight.
Yeah, guys, back on Delta Airlines next week, flying to the West Coast for a few days, and then got a big trip coming out to India for another couple weeks in a few weeks. So look forward to that. So
That's
great show, guys.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good show, you guys.
Sal, say goodnight.
SalDemilio.com, Sal and Bob's podcast, Sal and Bob live show at Genetti's. Good night, everybody. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. And I'm Jeff Dwoskin. Check out Classic Conversations. And we'll see you next time.
Good night, you guys. Take care.
And that has been another episode of Crossing the Streams. Join us every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. Follow the Jeff Dwoskin Show on YouTube to be alerted every time we go live with your hosts, Jeff Dwoskin, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Bob Phillips, Sal D'Amelio. We're all in the socials. Follow us, listen to our podcasts, Classic Conversations, and the Sal and Bob Show. Check them all out, and we'll see you next week and every week when we cross more streams right here. See you then.